Hello and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. I'm Lavaita. I'll be your storyteller for this Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. We are playing The Fall of London from Modiphius and Renegade Games, and this is episode 2. We are going to be playing an adult horror-based game about vampires. There will be trigger warnings below if you're watching on YouTube. We've done our lines and veils, and we have a virtual X card, but we can't look after you, so please, if we're hitting on a subject that you find to be a problem, come back later, watch a different episode, do what you have to do, it's all fine. What we're going to do is we're going to introduce our lovely players, and because we're running slightly later than expected, I'll do a quick summary and then we can get started. Last time when we started, I went round the circle starting from Tony, so I'm going to start with Dr. Henry and work around the other way this time.
Hi, I'm Dyson and I am playing Dr. Henry.
Okay.
I can't remember what I meant to say other than that.
That's fine for now. Bintak.
Hey, I am Bintak.
Who are you playing?
Tommy Smith.
Sorry, I interrupted you there. And you now have a working little meter that shows when you're talking, which will hopefully be a help when we can be sure who's talking. Going up to the top on my far left, right as you're looking at the stream. Floss, that's you.
Hi, I'm Floss, and I am playing Alice Mockingdale.
And last but by no means least.
So, hi, I'm Genek, and I'm playing Tony Castelli.
Fantastic. Now, in the last episode, our vampires woke up in March 2012 after about 72 years of torpor into a different world. Well, certainly different compared to the wartime London that they'd known before. This world has an extensive range of acceptable clothing, new threats, and a mission for our characters. They are currently suffering from amnesia, probably as a result of their torpor, but they've discovered that they are the heralds of the sun, chosen from the cult of Mithras, and they're to gather a collection of objects that can do a ritual so that a ritual can be performed. The objects are a clay seal, a silver ring with an inset ruby, a bronze dagger, a Phrygian cap, and a silver goblet. They were told that who may have those items, and players, you can access the letter in Roll20 if you want to look at it again. They were then pursued by police and escaped into the sewers, out into the London docklands, and they found a part-finished hotel somewhere near Canning Town. Two of our coterie, that's a fancy word for a group of vampires, went out to hunt for food before sunrise, and that's roughly where we left it. It is about 6:30 p.m. on 7th of March when your eyes flicker open because the sunset has taken place and you can now move around again. Just quickly, thing about vampires and sleeping, it's not really sleep as we know it. They don't really dream or anything like that. It is exactly as if they are dead for the whole of the daytime, and then after sunset you wake up and can do your thing. Has my mic dropped? No, it hasn't.
No, I'm listening.
So, does anyone want to start themselves? Do you want me to pick on someone?
Do we need to take rouse checks?
You do need to take a rouse check, so that's a very good point. Can everyone... there is an option on your character sheet to just roll a rouse check. If you click on that, it should roll you a d10, and we'll find out if you start the day hungrier or not.
Rouse check.
It's on the front page, down near the hunger section.
Oh, yeah. Bintak failed. Floss failed.
Oh, you've got hungrier, I'm afraid.
Genek and me. Okay.
Now, it should have already... Oh, gosh. Okay, well done, Tony. You didn't fail your rouse check and get hungrier, and you fed last night. What are your hungers all at now? It should have added the one on by itself.
Yeah, I am at 1.
I am also at 1.
I'm at 0.
At 1 as well.
You shouldn't still be at 0. Henry, it should have added that on.
I succeeded the rouse check.
Oh, you succeeded. I missed that. I'm sorry. It was in amongst a bunch of fails. Yeah, I see that now. So you're at 1, everyone else is at... Cool. I'm just checking chat because it seems weirdly silent. Okay, so that's affecting your hunger for the day. That's going to be interesting. You're all in different places dotted around this hotel just now, so none of you probably know where the other ones are. Oh, thank you, chat, for checking in. None of you probably know where the others are. As you came in, there was like an area sort of reception. That might be a place you want to go and meet. I don't know how you want to do things.
Yeah, I'm going to head down there, but I'll text everyone that that's where I'm going to go to meet them up.
So the rest of you, probably sitting in darkness, are going to get the surprise of like your phone lighting up, and you will see on that where everyone is, possibly.
Yeah, I'm still very suspicious of this little device, but I will go and meet him. Curiosity has got the better of me.
So,
Yes, I'm going to head down to reception and go and meet with Tommy.
Cool. I'm just seeing that the captions seem to have picked up, which is good. I'm trying to run captions along live with the stream, which we haven't done much before, and it stopped for a while, which made me think my audio was broken, but it's not. Tony, are you going to go downstairs, or are you going to do anything else first?
Yeah, I'm going downstairs as well.
Okay. Is that someone at our door or something?
One moment.
Okay.
Any vampires in?
It's just like I was like, is this like it felt slightly like a very well timed door knock.
Okay, lesson one of not having a masquerade breach is don't shout when someone asks if there's any vampires in. That's going to be important for later on. I'm going to hang on until Alice gets back. Okay, you've all gathered in the reception area. I'm going to let you talk a little bit if you want to and figure out what you're going to do next.
So I think as last night we kind of found out that we've got a number for a contact that might help us to find these artifacts. So I think the first thing we want to do is call that. The other thing we need to do is we need to find or get ourselves invited or attend Elysium. So we need to find out when that is. So hopefully that contact will let us know that as well. Or we can find out from that. Another thing I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to text Lady, I forgot Lady Catherine Montague for the taxi number that she was got last night. So we can then call taxi to move about the place.
Okay, yep. I think we also need to look at finding somewhere safer than this as accommodation. I think this is not somewhere that we can have a long-term plan with.
Yep. That might be something we can discuss first with this contact, depending on who they are.
Do we know anything about? Do we know if they're friendly or?
Not a clue. I don't think we even got a name from Lady Catherine. So I think we'll just basically call them up and introduce ourselves.
Okay, so who are you contacting first? Are you going to contact Lady Catherine for the taxi driver that was friendly towards you, or do you want to ring the other number first?
I was going to contact Lady Catherine for the taxi number, and also, just in case she did get told the name of the person, ask her if she knew. She knows that.
Okay. Do you want to ring her, or do you want to text? Please don't ring her, actually.
No,
I'm going to take that
her,
option away from you.
No,
Ordinarily, be fine, but I don't want to roleplay another person's character. Okay, what do you see in the text?
That just basically, hi, Lady Catherine. I overheard you last night given a taxi number of kind of friendly taxi companies. Wonder if you could pass it on to us so we can use it while you're away. And also with the contact number you sent last night, did the person give you a name of the contact or who they were? If you get any information, that'd be great. Thanks, Tommy.
Okay. A few moments later, you get a text back that says, yes, here's the taxi number, and the taxi number is attached. I'm not going to read it out because you don't really need that. You can just save that and you'll have the taxi number. Don't know who the person is from this contact, but we need to apparently contact them for a Elysium invitation.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then also saws, and then a single kiss.
Okay. But I'll just reply back, say thanks very much. That's great. And then do you think we just phone this person up or text them first and say
Entirely up to yourselves.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've just discussed.
Do we have contact for Darius as well? Or do we not?
You do not have a contact for Darius. Although well done remembering that name.
I won't go into why now, because it makes me sound very sad.
Don't worry about it.
Game. This vampire enjoyed League of Legends.
Also, a little behind the scenes thing that we didn't really cover because there was so much happening at once. The guy that woke you up, Adelino, let me double check his name. See, I went through all my papers and was like, I wouldn't need that person again. Yeah, De Silva. Adelino De Silva and Mickey, they both didn't make it out of the warehouse.
There goes one of my plans.
Okay, so you're going to ring, and if you're going to ring, who's going to ring?
We'll leave you to do that, Tommy. You seem to be on the ball.
Okay, well, I was just going to say who feels the most charismatic and personable.
That would definitely be you.
Or even who has the most persuasion, or possibly even intimidation.
Social skills are not quite my forte, but I can do it.
Yeah, I've got.
I mean, Tommy, do you want to just remind the rest of the group, what do you look like as a Nosferatu?
Well, yeah, I'm not particularly pleasant to look at. Basic down the right hand side of my face and my head, and I'm pretty much bald. Is I've got kind of quite horrific burn scars, so I don't tend to be that appealing to people.
Yeah, I've got awe and presence and streetwise and persuasion.
I've got etiquette. I can be polite to them.
Polite.
But you, Alice, what kind of skills have you got for?
I have got charisma and manipulation too, so I suppose I could contact him. Not very intimidating though, and I am definitely not streetwise.
You'll have to lead with a charismatic approach.
So yes, I have to go with the charismatic approach, and I think.
Who's being nominated then?
I think it sounds like Tony has the most best social skills.
Yeah, I'm just looking. See, there's those listening to the vampire. So it's anybody in the presence. So does that work over the phone?
Can do.
Yeah. That's called rapid infatuation. It's still enough to sway the and yeah, that's of most mortals though. But yeah. So.
Give me a quick second. I'm just going to try and fix something for you folks. So, are you nominating Tony to do the call?
I think I've been. I think I accidentally nominated myself.
I think Tony nominated themselves.
Yeah,
volunteered is the modern day word I believe they use now.
Volunteered. Yeah, volunteered.
I'm just going to give the people watching the stream a quick view behind the curtain. When we were having issues with the stream at the start, I've made it so they're seeing my raw webcam footage and they're not actually seeing what's on the stream. I've just realised this. And also it's made my camera go tiny, which is a bit embarrassing, so I'm going to try and fix that. Because anytime I mess with my camera, OBS goes, oh, you want it tiny.
Yeah, my camera's flickering. I'm really sorry.
It's not.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Is it doing it at your end or mine, do you think? Because my connection seems to be good.
I can see it, but also whenever I look over at stream, I can see it on the stream as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and make mine not tiny because I don't like being a little dot in the corner of the... There we go. Right, so Tony, are you going to do this thing? We're going to have you do a roll, and the roll is going to be... Well, let's just start with... Let's do technology intelligence difficulty 2 to use the phone, because you've been in Torpor for 70 years. You've not used a phone before like this.
So technology, and then I've got no technology skills.
Right, if you want to, there's some things you've got an option to do here. You could rouse the blood, which will get you a dot where you don't have a dot before, depending on what your blood potency is. Or you could try... Actually, that's probably your best bet right now. If you fail it, you can use willpower to try and get a reroll. But if you want to rouse the blood, like do a blood surge to get yourself a dot where you do not have a dot, you can try that.
Mm-hmm. Where am I rolling that?
Do a rouse check. It won't mean that you can do it or can't do it. It'll just mean whether you get hungrier doing it.
Yeah, I succeeded that rouse check.
Okay, so you can have a dot in technology. So take when you do the roll, take an extra. Let me just check your blood potency, because that tells me how many extra dots you can have. I have a document with all the stuff in it. I just have to find your page. And this is the problem of having a Tony and a Tommy. You get an extra 2 to your dice pool. So you can do the roll, but add 2 when it asks if you've got any modifiers.
Right, so am I doing the roll without anything in there?
Yeah, and then when it asks you what you haven't got any intelligence or any technology.
So where's my intelligence? I've got 2 intelligence,
right,
I just don't have any technology.
Click technology. Your other ability on there is intelligence, and then when it asks you for a modifier, you can add 2.
Yay! Yeah, I thought that's what I was doing. Perfect. Right, doing it now. Difficulty still at 2.
Yeah, it should be quite possible.
Change that.
You got 3.
Yay.
You just double check what that is.
2 of 2, 3 dice rolled, 2 of 2 successes.
And on your hunger. Oh, that's only a problem if you fail it. Okay, yeah, you've successfully used the telephone.
Hooray!
This is just to get the number from Tommy and successfully call it. Because although you've been given a quick talking through for how to use it, you haven't used it before.
Yep.
Okay,
Makes sense.
A rather haughty sounding lady answers. Hello, who's calling?
Tony?
Okay, I don't think I know a Tony. What's this regarding?
So we were given your number as a contact for... Sorry, this is actually me, like.
Don't worry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Getting confused about what it is I'm doing because I've lost where my
other
screens
people.
are.
You can help if you want.
We're
Yes,
looking to get an invite to the Elysium,
So we're looking to get an invite to Elysium.
and it was Darius that gave us
Elysium, right?
their
And you got
contact number.
Darius. Okay.
And it was Darius that gave us your number.
This is a conversation that we should probably not be having on the telephone. How about... Can you get to Marsh Wall? It's in Canary Wharf. If you can get yourself there, I'll come and find you. You have to say something.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, I think that might be where we're probably not that far away.
Very well. I'll see you momentarily. Thank you. And she hangs up.
Yeah, because we were close by that yesterday.
I mean, I'm not sure your character knows where Canary Wharf is.
No, I don't think the character knows. But we do. I do know where the docks are. So therefore, logically, and we know that we must still be by the docks.
And you've got a taxi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hang on, has Floss gone and come back? We seem to have lost. I just realised that Floss was missing on the...
I am here, but my camera is just flickering.
Oh, Because in the Video Ninja screen, I can see you just static. But it looks like your camera's turned off for this stream.
Yeah, I just turned my camera off.
Okay, no problem. I can drop an emergency picture in if you want to leave it off, or do you want to try and put it back on when you are being more active?
I'll pop it back on and I'll try it. If it keeps flickering, I'm just going to turn it off.
Okay, no worries. Every time I've looked, it's been stable enough for me, but I'm not watching the stream as urgently as some other people are. Right. What do you want to do next? So you've got that contact. She's asked you to come to Marsh Wall in Canary Wharf.
So then we'll phone up that taxi and get them to take us to that place.
Yeah.
Okay, people on the stream are saying they've not noticed any flickering, if that's any help for you. Okay, the taxi comes and takes you to the place. Canary Wharf is a very different place from the sort of London you left behind in the 40s. It's clearly the area you saw the previous night with all the skyscrapers and the various company names on the top. Marsh Wall is a relatively narrow roadway that snakes through the glass-fronted buildings. At this time of day, many of the buildings are in semi-darkness. A lot of people have gone home already for the evening. It's about 7 o'clock-ish, 8 o'clock-ish by the time you get there. There's a bunch of buildings. The taxi driver's asking where you want to be put out.
This is very different to when we were last here.
Just the middle of the road. That'll be fine for us. As in the middle of the length of the road, not.
I didn't think you meant like literally in the central reservation, because it's a very narrow road. It's just a two-lane.
Yeah.
He stops and lets you out. A lot of the buildings around here are quite new, or they're recently refurbished. Some of them are hotels. There's quite a few new sort of developing apartment blocks and stuff. There's big signs up saying things like, buy here, apartments in the heart of the city centre, that kind of thing.
So, did she say there was somewhere specific near Canary Wharf, in Canary Wharf, we needed to be?
She just said this street, and she would come and find you.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to just wait here.
Can everyone do me a wits and awareness, please?
Sure.
And I'm going to roll for her because she's using an ability to come and try and find you.
Wits and awareness.
Also, there's a possibility that you all are sticking out like sore thumbs because you're still wearing the charity shop clothes you got from the previous day. What's she got? 4.
Do we need a pool size modifier?
No, not for this one.
And
what are we rolling wits against?
You're not rolling against anything. It's just it's not contested. Just roll it, and we'll see how many successes you get.
None.
Is that difficulty 2 or 0 then?
Doesn't matter. I'm just going to count. It's just a count of the successes rather than hitting a limit. So Tony, you got 2. No, you got 1.
1 success.
Henry, you got 3.
And then we're also rolling a wet.
No, it's one roll. It should be wits and awareness as one pool.
Oh, sorry, that was what I did wrong. Sorry, I didn't roll awareness against wits. That was me.
In a way, it was my fault because I had you roll just dex for the first time we were doing rolls, and I should have had. It's generally 2.
Yeah, so there we go. So I rolled it correctly this time.
Okay, you got two successes there.
2 successes.
Floss, you got... Sorry. Alice, you got 2.
I got 1.
Oh, okay. I'm going to roll for the unnamed character. Oh, that was none. She hasn't found you yet. You see a number of people walking around, but none of them look particularly suspicious. They all look distinctively mortal, to be honest.
Okay, if I you sense the beast.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, do that. That doesn't cost you anything, does it?
No, it's kind of passive.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
No, it can be passive and active.
I should have opened that document that has all this stuff in it. I mean, I know Sense the Beast because I've played with someone who used it a fair bit.
Nope,
you put it in chat. Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
Resolve an animalism versus compulsion subterfuge. Okay, I need to find this character's. Okay, can you roll?
Yep.
I feel like you should be rolling your. Doesn't matter. Roll your resolve and animalism, and I will roll against it, and we'll see if you can find her.
Okay.
Good choice.
So what Sense the Beast does is it lets you detect any beasts in the immediate area, kind of thing.
Although we do not know if this person is a beast.
I think if they're organising Elysium, it's a fair bet they're probably kindred.
2 seconds. How to actually roll my power? I can't. There seems to be no button for animalism.
Oh heck! Let me double check. I'm going to open your sheet up on here. Failing that, we can just count the pool up and roll that number of d10s. Actually, it's just that hunger is going to be a. That should have been set up. Sorry about this. Let me double check your sheet. So if you click that, oh, it hasn't got the attribute set. Sorry, this is just, you get to watch me clicking for a moment. This is how Roll20 goes sometimes. If you've watched many of these kinds of programs on Twitch, you'll be used to it. Bandit, damn it. Must free, prejudice, animalism and composure, and subterfuge. Resolve and animalism. You got 1 in animalism. What's your resolve?
3.
And give me a 4d10 pool, please, and we'll just count this ones that are over 6 for the sake of speed. And I will try and get that sorted out for next time we play.
Okay.
I know Roll20 is being weird and it's trying to get me to put your counter on the map. I don't want to do. I'm not using a map.
Right. Okay.
What did you get? Because I'm just reloading Roll20 right now.
I got 2 out of 2 successes.
2 is enough to find her. So she's coming along the street about 100 yards further down. You can go towards her if you want. She's kind of, from your point of view, she's glowing a little bit.
Okay. So I'll point her out to the rest of the group and say I think that's the person we're to meet, and then suggest we head over and introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That's a good plan.
I'm a little bit nervous about how open this place is and how.
Yes. She seems to be on her own.
Yeah, she's quite businesslike. As you get closer, she's kind of tall and elegant with coffee-coloured skin. She's dressed quite expensively and stylishly. She's got like a metallic winter floral print with leather trim around the waist and the hips and the hem. She's got a sort of fancy long textured leather coat on over it. Her hair is very short. It's like almost bald short, but it really emphasises her amazing bone structure. And the only jewellery she's wearing is kind of silvery dangling earrings. As you walk up towards her, she notices you now because she's paying attention to.
Okay.
So we'll say hello, I suppose. Introduce ourselves.
Do you want to see the lead on that, Tommy? Or, sorry, Henry?
Tony. Oh, no, Henry, sorry.
Well, I can do. Yeah, sure, why not? Hello, yeah, I'm Dr. Henry. We've been hinted towards that you can help us fight Darius.
This isn't the best place to have this conversation. Come with me just now. And she leads you towards one of the buildings. It's lit downstairs.
Okay,
I'll follow.
Well, follow, but I'm being just obviously quite wary because I don't know this person, so I'm basically looking about and seeing if there's anything unusual or anything chap-wise.
Because you only got a 2, if you'd got a little bit higher, you might have been able to tell more details about like how hungry she is and stuff, but don't worry about that just now.
Okay.
She goes inside a larger building. It's deserted downstairs. It's quite a big open space. It's like a large reception area. There's music playing quietly in the background. It's very well lit, but there's no one else around. We can talk safely here. I should have introduced myself. I'm sorry. And I forgotten the character's name already. I should have. Oh, where's my? I've got too many notes. Give me a second. I'm sorry about this. I want to get her details entirely correct. My name is Lady Scarlet Churchill, and I am the assistant to the Prince. I've been in charge with sort of organising this Elysium, which is taking place tomorrow. We sent a herald round to make sure all the kindred in the city knew about it, but obviously if you haven't heard, maybe they missed you. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, we have just been awoken from a 70-year sleep. So we are completely unaware of any plans or anything that's going on in the city. This is a most unusual set of circumstances, but not entirely unheard of. Normally, when a new kindred comes to a city, they have to introduce themselves to the prince to be recognised. But if you've not left, then I guess that's not going to be an issue. It's just that we weren't expecting you to be around and ambulatory, I suppose. Then the invitation is also open to yourselves. Please come to the Elysium, where it's important to try and have as many people who are loyal to the prince come as possible.
Yeah, we would be happy to.
Because you've been out of the loop a little, I'll just explain. You may want to bring a gift for the prince. That's rather protocol.
Okay.
Just as an indication that you support her.
Because we've not been in the society for quite some time, in these modern times, what would be considered an appropriate gift with all this new technology?
That's very much up to yourselves. It could be something physical, like a gift of like an object or a thing. It could be. It's hard to say. Be imaginative. Catch her attention. Perhaps something that would benefit her in some way would be an equally suitable gift.
Okay. Do you know how the landscape has changed for the political scene around? How are we? In the last 70 years has been a long time. What's changed we should be aware of?
Well, I imagine one thing to be aware of is that the prince was not... Our prince now was not the prince 70 years ago. 70 years ago, I think we were still working under Mithras, although he was largely absent. And we had a seneschal who looked after the city on a day-to-day basis, Valerius. Just double check I got the name correct. Yes, this is important lore, so I want to make sure I get the names right. Valerius was looking after the city generally, while Mithras was in and out of torpor himself. It happens. Mithras was very, very old. It becomes harder to sustain yourself.
And do you know roughly when and how did Mithras disappear?
He vanished sometime in the 40s, I believe. I wasn't around then, but that was when the Prince Anne took over. I assume that he died. She wouldn't have taken over otherwise, surely.
So was the prince taking over a positive thing, or was this done in a negative way?
Well, she'd been there for some time, acting along. She was working with the seneschal to run London on the daily sort of thing. And when the prince vanished and it was eventually declared dead, she kind of took over by praxis almost. It's how we do things. If there isn't a prince, you can declare praxis and take over yourself. It doesn't happen so much here, but in smaller cities, it's the cut and thrust of how their management works.
And how are the state of the clans these days? Are all the clans still relatively equal? Is anyone?
Well, lots of people have been worried by various rumours buzzing around. But the clans are still here. We have the Primogen. They still meet with their council whenever they're required to do so. And the prince listens to them and takes actions as appropriate. We still have problems with the anarchs on the edges, of course, but we always do.
And Who's the current sheriff?
There are 4 current sheriffs of London.
Okay.
You're going to make me get my notebook out for this now.
Did you have any knowings of Andalina de Silva?
Who? I think I may have heard the name, but I don't think I've had any cause to interact with him. Just because he's one of the kindred of London, and there aren't that many of us.
Okay. How do we go about getting the confirmation that we're in then? Do we just turn up to this?
Oh, you can simply turn up. You'll be on the list. I'll add. Let me take your names actually, and I'll make sure you're on the list. But all you'd have to do is prove that you are kindred to the security staff, and they will let you in, I'm sure. Obviously, weapons will not be allowed. Don't bring weapons, and the usual Elysium rules apply. Don't use your powers.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a peaceful place. And I'm going to skip over her taking your names because we've all got your names written on the screen. We know what your names are. But yeah. I'm going to assume that she takes them. I ate too quickly. I'm just going to take a little drink.
Awesome.
I may have to pass on that you've arrived to some other people so that they know that you're back. Some people might be interested. I don't know your backstory, but you presumably were living in London before, so maybe some people will be glad to see you. Some people may be quite the reverse.
Always the way.
Who do you plan to talk to?
Oh, well, we need to tell the prince because they need to be aware who's around. It might be appropriate to tell your primogen. Maybe you should approach your own primogen and tell them that you're back in the area so that they know that you're here. To come out of character for a moment, just to make sure you players know how this works. The way that the clans are represented is every clan has a primogen, which is their link to the primogen council. They're the ones that decide stuff. So like all the Bruja go back to one person and they're represented on the primogen council by that one person. All the Tremere, all the Hakata is going to be an interesting one because there aren't very many of those. I suspect that Hakata probably doesn't have a primogen and maybe you speak to someone else.
I mean, if the Hakata's primogen's dead, I can just speak to them. Fine.
You and your necromancy.
That gives me an idea. Okay, yep.
I mean, one of the things with how London works is because it's essentially run by the Ventrue, and the prince is also a Ventrue. The Ventrue primogen doesn't really get heard very much compared to the other primogen because the prince is kind of doing that to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll say obviously, because I've not been around for 70 years. Who's the current primogens for Nosferatu?
Oh, you want No. I've written this down for a reason. Come on. Where are you? I'm pretty sure it's Caleb, but they're not on my list. It's someone called Caleb, because for some reason they often Jewish code Nosferatu names.
Okay, look. Okay. Just out of character, I'm presuming the primogens will be at Elysium, so that's probably a good point.
The primogen will be at Elysium. Everyone will be at Elysium. That's the plan.
Okay.
That's the concern.
Awesome.
So were we given an address for the Elysium then?
Oh, the Elysium will be taking place at the Scepter. You may have been away for 70 years, or you won't probably know about it. It's that very big pointy building by the Tower Bridge. I believe the mortals refer to it as the Shard.
Okay. We've seen that building. That's a very tall building. Is there a particular floor we need to go to? Is it just reception?
It's not open yet. When you arrive, you'll be taken to the correct floor.
Okay.
Obviously, it's been a long time, 70 years. Is there any general day-to-day advice for blending in that has changed?
Don't use your phones except if you absolutely have to, and then treat them like they're being listened to. Avoid using computers if at all possible. I take it you're aware of the traditions. You know, the 6 traditions.
Yes.
I am, but why don't you remind me?
You're testing me, and I don't appreciate that. If your friend here knows them, he can tell you.
Very suspicious.
And now, if you have nothing else to do, there is rather a lot I have to do to organise this event tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you, hopefully in passing. I may be busy, but it should be a fun time. Everyone gets to be themselves for it.
Well, thank you for meeting with us. We appreciate it. And thank you for the information, keeping us up to date.
You're welcome. Yep. Go well. And she kind of leads you towards the door, because although she feels like she should leave, it's not her, it's her building.
Yes.
Okay, we shall leave.
Okay, so you're outside. It is about 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're in Canary Wharf. Is there anything you want to do in this area?
Well, I think tonight, because tomorrow night will be the kind of night for finding a lot of information for finding these items. So, and probably the biggest task we've got right now is to try to find a gift or work out a gift.
Yeah, we need a gift.
Also, you might want to think about your own appearance.
Yeah, and we're not dressed to go to somewhere.
Yeah. Posh.
Yeah. Where other people are going to see us.
Well, you speak for yourselves. I think I'm dressed posh enough.
I've got a nice little suit and button and hat on. I'm thinking I'm okay.
Well, the trouble with the suit is that you have got that line of sewage along the bottom of it from when you were climbing through the...
Yeah.
It's character.
Okay, then...
You keep telling yourself that, yeah. Yeah, I'd quite like to get better clothes than me.
So, because we don't know this area, looking about, does it look like it's like got shopping areas or shops?
It could do. Do you want to sort of wander and have a look?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just getting the... Because we're going to do a roll for this as well. Let's do... I want like a observation kind of streetwise, but that's not the same thing. Not sure. Anyone who wants to give me a wit streetwise? Wit streetwise. No, the caption's not capturing me right either time. If you haven't got either of those things, you don't have to. If you want to surge the blood, let me know and you can do a rouse. Although I wouldn't waste a rouse check on this, to be honest, but that's up to yourselves.
Rolling.
I've rolled.
I find nothing.
I got 5 successes of 2.
So that means you set a difficulty for yourself of 2. And you got 5 successes at it.
I got 2 of 2.
That's decent. I didn't set a difficulty. You don't have to do this, but okay.
It's
just default on 2. So.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's fine. I'm only worried about the number of successes here. Okay. Let's start with Tony. You have found a massive gents outfitters that has many, many suits and a lot of outdoor clothing. You could buy something. The shop is still open. You could attempt to steal something.
Yeah, don't assume I have any cash with which to buy things.
No, we do. We've got 1,000.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about that.
So, 200 each, roughly.
You bought a left dash shoe.
I mean, if you buy also, this is Canary Wharf 2012, so it's a bit better off than you might be thinking now. But
and if there's yeah, I could use and maybe do a bit of bargaining.
You want to try bargaining with people who want to shop in Canary Wharf?
Yeah,
just checking the full ramifications of this.
People who, assuming they're mortals.
That's an option that you have. Do you have any other options?
Do I have any other options? I don't know.
You do. You've got an obfuscate. I can't say the word right now.
Obfuscate. Yeah, I have got obfuscate. As in stealing.
No, as in. Well, just look at what your Cloak of Shadows does. I'm going to be brutally honest about this.
Sorry, but because I keep losing my window where you all are, I keep losing like where my thread of my brain is. So this is out of character. Me being very confused. I've got Cloak of Shadows. Yeah, so that's just standing still.
Okay, there's stuff you could do with that, but it's entirely up to you.
What is it? Is standing still hope somebody dresses me like a mannequin?
Your plan is to go in and try and do an awe thing, and get them to be so impressed by you that they just ignore the fact that you haven't paid for it.
What would I do with the Cloak of Shadows, though? Sorry, I'm being very dense.
That's okay. You could put something on, hide until no one's watching, then slip out while there's not paying any attention.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's a possibility. But then you have to find a place where no one's looking. And you would still show up on cameras.
Yeah, and I would. Yeah, and as long as I only mechanical or supernatural means can detect them, and I just have to not move. And then there's still people around. I mean, I'm not saying that like I want anybody to give me anything, but I'm just hoping for a discount.
One moment on that, Tommy. While you're moving around Canary Wharf, there's crowds of people around. Are you doing anything to like mask your appearance in any way?
I did get a hat to wear overhead like that.
Are you just pulling it down really low?
The thing is, I mean, I suppose I could just stand still and use up the Cloak of Shadows.
It's an option. I just want to double check whether I should be like registering multiple masquerade breaches as people see you and go, "What the heck's wrong with him?"
It's not quite a masquerade breach now. The Nosferatu thing. Is it not?
I've heard of some Nosferatu being referred to as walking masquerade breaches.
Okay, is that still the same then?
I just want to get some sense of like, what are you making any effort here to like stick to the shadows or like?
I'm staying out. Yeah, if there's an alleyway or things like that, I'll be keeping to those then. And if I'm doing nothing because obfuscate's passive, I'll just be using that.
You can just be using obfuscate as you go around. Well, you have to stop to use it, but you can't use it and move. But you can anytime you stop, you can just quietly vanish.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, let me just look at your roles again. Dr. Henry, you've probably found somewhere suitable to buy clothes if you wanted clothes as well. What kind of clothes are you looking for?
Oh, it'll be a nice suit again, just cleaner, bit nicer. Seems to be a shop down this way which does that.
I'm sure there is,
and they seem to have a back like a ginnel behind it.
That's interesting. What are you planning to do?
I'm just trying to avoid the obvious answer of kill them and take it.
I mean, that's the thing you could do, but it's going to be a problem because there'll be cameras everywhere in these shops. So you'd have to take some kind of steps against the security. But that's up to yourself.
Do we know much about cameras, though?
I feel like
1940.
If no one's warned you yet, you've maybe spotted them while you're around. Like you spot the little things as you move. Like they're outside every building, especially in London. There's literally tens of thousands of them.
It's safe to say we can assume that they are.
And they look, and cameras look like 2012 cameras look.
Yeah,
more
they're
like
the oblong ones, isn't it?
So like lenses and stuff, we're going to know what they look like.
We can figure them out then. We can safely assume that we are aware we're being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will go in to the front of the store then and pick out a suit. And what can I try and do here? I've already got one still. In fact, no. I'm going to go to the front of the store. Then I'm going to use the silence of death thing.
Okay, can you click the little thing on your sheet that pings it into the chat?
Yeah, I have done that, yeah.
Yeah, you've done it.
This is using nullifying the sound made.
Sounds as your footsteps. Okay, so you will be inaudible moving around, but not to cameras and stuff. That maybe there aren't cameras with microphones on them. So what are you intending?
Use that and try and steal the suit.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that I'm waiting. I can see when the guy in the shop is not looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly sizable shop. They can't see everywhere. And they're dealing with another customer near the back. And I'm just going to hop in, just silently using signs of death, steal the suit, and pop out and risk the camera seeing me.
Have you got any stealth?
I have got one.
Okay, give me a stealth. This is going to be stealth composure, please. Because you have to hold it together in order to make the silence of death work. Silence of death you don't have to roll for, by the way. It is free, so you can just use it whenever, liberally.
2 successes.
I don't think that's high enough because this is a little bit tricky. So, let's see how this goes. No, I'm going to get you to help me on this. What happens is you've got the suit on, you've taken it away and put it on one of the changing areas.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone to try and leave, and you've managed to do it silently, but someone from the back of the store sees you as you're getting towards the door, and they're coming towards you. Possibly to just investigate. Yeah, sorry, is that one of the suits that you just took off the peg there?
Yes.
I don't
I'm
think
just giving it a test run.
No, I think you should be coming back to pay for that, please.
How much is it?
I'm having trouble, me, Storyteller, putting a price on the actual suit. Do you want to say how much you think it would be?
I think it'll be about £99.99.
I think it might be somewhat more than that.
Do I not have any kind of...
But I like your moxie.
I feel like I should be able to use some kind of persuasion, but I don't have any persuasion.
What do you have? You've got a reasonable manipulation.
I do have a reasonable manipulation, yes.
Do you want to try and slip out of the way while he's heading towards you? So you've argued the toss about how much the suit's worth. Do you want to just try and get out of there?
I have manipulation and I have finance.
Is there any way I can come and help you with my resolve?
You can give it a try if you want. What do you want to do, Alice?
Well, what could I do to resolve the situation for you, Henry?
Well, I'm just thinking, with my finance and manipulation, can I convince this man that he's actually overcharging for it, which is not acceptable, and I should be able to get it for £99.99?
No, it's more of an economics kind of deal.
Balls.
Finance is more like doing accounting and records, and it feels like it's not the right thing for this.
Okay.
Alice, have you got anything you want to try and do to help? Leafing through my paper character sheets here, which I'm sure chat are getting in.
So, Alice, you do have some persuasion. Low, but you've got it.
Yeah.
I've got persuasion and resolve. I mean...
So there is a mechanic where you can help with the roll, which will give someone an extra die if you've got an ability. So if you want to help Dr. Henry do something, you can effectively help them up by one extra die on a roll.
I think what I can use of manipulation.
I feel like we should move quickly here because there isn't going to be a lot of time on this.
I'll try streetwise manipulation to try and manipulate him into letting me borrow the suit.
Okay, give me a roll of streetwise manipulation and with a difficulty of 4. And if you want to, you can rouse the blood. Sorry, and give yourself an extra dot if you want to. Not rouse the blood. That's the wrong thing. It's a blood surge. You can give yourself an extra dot, but it'll cost you a rouse check.
Okay, how do I do that?
Give me a rouse check first of all.
Rouse check.
Which might make you hungrier. It did.
Did.
And let me just check your blood potency. You've got 2, so you can add 1 die according to the sheet we've got here. So you can add. That's
Is that on the pool size modifier? Just add 1.
Yeah. So you get a +1.
Difficulty of 4.
And it was going to be persuasion streetwise. No, it can't be persuasion streetwise. Manipulation streetwise.
Yep, 5 of 4.
Flipping it. Okay, how did this go? This has succeeded very well. How's it going to go?
I am going to convince the man that I require this suit for a job interview. And I will bring her back once I have this job. As you can see clearly by the clothes I have right now, I am in no state. These are the only things I own. And I'm trying to impress.
Tony, are you with them at this point, or are you away buying your things somewhere else? Sorry, I see you've just taken a bite of something and I've asked you a question.
Yeah, I'm drilling over things in another shop.
Okay. Just double checking whether you could or don't your way out of this. I mean, that's worked. I'm not sure how it's worked. Maybe they were feeling very tired, maybe they're feeling very charitable that night, but it's worked out for you. You're wearing a very natty looking suit.
So I've now got my new suit on, haven't I then?
Yep.
And okay, I think I'm okay then. I'm gonna walk back.
Okay, Alice, Tommy, what are we gonna do? You want to try shopping, stealing, however you want to do it?
Yep.
I think these guys have done enough, and I am going to take some of the money and I'm going to purchase myself a nice dress.
Okay. What does the dress look like?
Oh, it's a royal blue colour. It's long, it's fitted around the waist, and it's got straps.
Luckily, vampires don't feel the cold, so that's not going to be an issue in London in March.
I don't feel the cold anyway.
Yep. I will attempt to steal with the standing still. Put something on standing still, wait until someone ceases to notice me. But I'm also going to be, since we kind of recognise cameras, I'm going to try and be in a place where it's harder for it to see me.
Okay.
And I still have my hat on. My hat brim is down.
1 second. I want to consult the little guide because I'm trying to get good rolls, and there are some good suggestions for more interesting than the typical roles in the Storyteller guide, which is why I've been referring to it a couple of times. I did it more on the Hunter game. It feels like it should be like you've got the ability to do that. That's not a problem. I'm not going to question that. It's a question of whether you've got the ability to do this whole thing, and it feels like it's going to be a composure and something. I don't know if I want to say. I mean, you're welcome to suggest dice pools if you want to as well, and I can agree with that.
I'm just looking at my character sheet. Composure. I mean, it's really probably going to be a stealth, I would imagine.
Yeah, it could be stealth, or I'd take potentially persuasion if you've got that. But if you want to try, let's try stealth composure then.
I have no persuasion.
Okay, stealth composure says you're welcome to try a blood surge if you want to.
I will try one. Yeah.
Okay, give me a rouse check first then. You've got
great.
hungrier.
Yep. Marvellous.
If anyone gets to hunger 3, make sure I know about it, please. because that's where we start to have problems.
Difficulty for the stealth composure roll?
Let's say a 4, but remember to add an extra die for your blood surge.
Okay.
In the modifier.
But
You got a 2.
Yeah, I should have.
That's a bestial failure. I'm sorry.
Well, I've got one more dice to roll. That might help.
It won't get you out of the. It won't get you out of the
okay.
Hunger die problem. I mean, it'll improve your success. So you are going to succeed, but it's going to be because of your beast doing it, and not because of you. As we talked about before, the beast pushes forward all your worst impulses. I'm just looking for my card with your compulsions on it, and
so,
it's going to make you succeed. But you're going to succeed. Oh, how's this going to go?
My compulsions is
no. I'm going to do a roll. So actually, can you give me a 1d10 roll?
Sure. How do you do that without using
/R 1d10?
Success with consequences.
Yeah, you got a 4. So that's okay. You want to not only get away with this item of clothing, you want to. Oh, what's the way of putting it? You want to toy with the people who work in the shop a little bit. You want to mess around with them. What does that look like? What are you going to do?
Okay.
Bearing in mind, you can make yourself invisible as long as you don't move.
Yeah. So, I'm obviously they'll have like maybe dummies with like clothing on, such like. So I will have positioned myself next to one with my arm behind it. And then I'm basically going to just like start like waving a sleeve.
That's going to freak them out a little bit, I'd imagine. So that there's a mummy, a dummy rather, a mannequin that's apparently moving by itself.
Yeah. I'm not like obviously waving. I'm just more like floating, like flapping the sleeve, really, as if it's like in the wind sort of thing.
When you move, you are visible, but like imagine if you're behind the mannequin, that's probably going to work.
Yes.
Oh, your beast is an arsehole.
We said to mess.
I know. That's why it wants to make you do that. It wants to make you do that.
You know,
it was that, or get obsessed with them, and I thought that's not right for this place. Quickly moving on, then, Tony, you've got your suit. Is that correct? You've escaped with it, or no? We're going to come back to it. You're going to all your way through this.
Yeah, we were. I've been looking. I've been deciding. Basically, what I want to do is I want to buy stuff, but I'm going to use my businessy wheeler dealer skills.
Oh,
be like,
I like that very much.
Obviously, Dyson. Sorry,
Dr. Henry.
So Henry was being. Obviously, I don't know this, but that was like lowballing it. But I'm like, so, you know, what discount can you give me? Where are we up to with this?
Now, you've got actual skills in this, because that's been how you got through, even from before you were.
I've got ore, but I've also got bargaining.
You know what? You know what I would suggest you do here? Use your streetwise, and we'll give you your black market advantage.
Yes.
So I think we're going to use streetwise and manipulation for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a difficulty of 4, but when it comes to the modifier, make sure you add your extra 1 for black market.
So pull size modifier 1 and difficulty 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 5 successes out of 4.
Yep. So you're awing them and you're manipulating. Like, they're well disposed towards you. Whenever you walk around, they're just sort of staring at you, going, "Wow, this person looks amazing." Like, they're not the best dressed, but I am interested in this person.
That's exactly what I needed.
And when it comes to bargaining with them, you have such an easy time of it. What price do you suggest?
So obviously I've looked at the prices of stuff. I'm going to start by suggesting like 40%. Yeah, let's start with like a 40. Should we try? Let's try for a 50% discount.
And they go for that.
Whatever it is I'm wanting to buy.
With a 5 successes in this environment, they'll go for that. Super. With you with the all on as well.
Yep. So I go out with
have obtained
what
a suit.
I wanted. Yep.
So
nice suit.
Dr. Henry, you've obtained a suit. Alice, you've obtained a dress. Tommy is still fucking with the staff, but will probably reappear at some point.
It's typical Tommy.
Love that.
Are you going to meet up somewhere centrally after this, or?
Yeah, we just got advice not to use our phones too much, though.
That's true. Although I think if you just work on the basis that whatever you message or send to people, there might be someone else reading it. So try and don't be. Hello, I am a vampire. I will meet you here at the vampire headquarters.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna leave Tommy a message, and I'm gonna let Tommy know that we will meet him. Where would be the best place to meet him, people?
I think
so. We're in different shops right now. So I've kind of moseyed out with my stuff. Just wondering where all you guys are.
Yeah, with Tommy being in Nosferatu, I think they are going to know a lot of the underground networks, or have contacts who can find underground networks. Is that correct? In which case, I suggest
if I was an active member of the current society, yes. Having no memory, no.
You got no memory, so you won't be able to know the old entrances in Canary Wharf either way.
Unlikely. I mean, basically, we're in this area. So if you meet back on the Marshall Street,
there's
a kind of gathering up point.
That seems sensible to me.
Yeah, that's fine. We can meet you there. We'll all meet up there.
Yep.
So approaching 10 o'clock, let's say. Let's be generous about how long these shops stay open for, because how else are you going to do this? The shops are starting to close. The streets are it's very quiet around here now, because basically it's at night time. All these business districts are dead because not a lot of people live there at the moment. How do you want to proceed back to where you were in Canning Town? Do you want to summon a taxi and go somewhere? Tommy made what I think was a very good point about the long-term stability of using that hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, tonight we might not get a better place, but we could certainly look about and see if we can find something better. But we don't really know this area as it currently is. So we just be wandering about looking for a good place. It might be that hotel is our best bet for tonight.
I think, we should head back to the hotel for tonight, and then when we go to the Elysium, we can always ask about. We can speak to somebody and see if there's anywhere available where we can stay safely.
I mean, I suggest we go to the Elysium meet up and speak to our clans and try and touch base again and get self-established and things like that.
Okay. How do you want to get back to Canning Town then? Do you want to summon a taxi, or do you want to walk? You probably could walk from there, or you could do something else.
I think we could walk, and then as we're walking along, we could then scout out places.
Yeah, I think a walk's probably a good idea. I think us relying on car transport
and limited money
to kind of get. I think it's better for us to get the lay of the land of you know, because we might, as we're walking around, it's more likely that we're going to see perhaps buildings and things that we recognise, not from here, but you know, we might spot places that we recognise.
I mean, the basic layout of the river hasn't changed much.
Yeah. So I just think that might help us, especially because there's so much we don't remember. You know, anything that we can see that might jog our memories is a really good idea. We're not going to get that from inside a car.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you walk back. It takes a little while. Let's say between half an hour to an hour, I think, is reasonable from there. Because you have to go around that sort of sweep of the river. And then up to Cannington where you were. And although some of you have celerity, it would just be showing off to do that while everyone else is just stuck. I'm going to do a quick couple of rolls to see if that's... Because there are people out looking for people like you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just going to say, I haven't stopped the sense of the beast.
Well, you'll be aware of any kindred that you pass or anything else that's supernatural in that way. I mean, some humans have a sort of beast going on. If they're feeling very angry, then you might get a little bit of a sense of a beast from them, but it's not the same sort of beast that you're dealing with, which is always hungry and always self-preserving.
The other thing that might be an idea for some is, at least if we're heading back there, is use the opportunity of the walk to find somewhere to feed.
Yeah, how are you all at hunger just now? Who's at what hunger?
I'm at 2.
I'm at 1. Still.
Yeah, I'm only at 1.
So, and I'm going to look for an opportunity to feed.
2 you could eat, but it's not out of control by any means.
Yes, but I just think in the morning there's a chance I could be at 3.
Mm.
Oh no, sorry. The next day evening I could be at 3. So
how are you walking? Like, what are you kind of in a formation of some kind? Are you walking like 4 abreast, or are you walking like 2 and 2, or how are you doing this?
2 and 2, I think.
Yeah, 2 and 2.
Sensible.
Who's at the front and who's at the back?
I'll be one of the ones at the front.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be at the... Yeah, I think I'm probably feeling at the front at the minute as well.
I'm definitely trailing at the back. I always am. I've got short legs.
So, Dr. Henry, you're at the front with Tommy, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Tony and Alice, can you give me a wits awareness roll? And I'm not going to tell you the difficulty.
Okay. Wits.
Also, because this is passive, you can't surge the blood on this one. This is just, are you going to be aware of this thing that might be happening?
So are we just rolling with a difficulty of 0?
Yeah, it's about number of successes, and I'm not telling you what they are, because it's a secret.
Yeah, exactly. So just
So we got a 2 and a 3.
Yep.
Tony, someone's following you. You've walked around a few different routes now, and like the whole time, that person's been a few meters behind. You're walking along a streetway that's...
So I'm going to let everybody else...
It's a relatively narrow bit of pavement. There's houses on one side and parked cars on the other. Not a lot of space, but there's enough for you two to walk 2 abreast and then for another person to walk past you potentially.
I'm just trying to think what to do with this information. Sorry.
You could see. You could say to the others.
So, I'm going to say that I think we're being followed. So, guys, I think that somebody's following us.
Tommy and Henry, a car door opens in front of you, and at the same time, a house door on the right opens as well. The people walking up behind sort of propel you towards the car door and into the house. So if you can imagine the doors open blocking the pavement, your normal thing to do is to swerve to avoid the open door, but the house is open and you're sort of being tugged inside.
Okay, then I am going to resist being tugged inside.
Okay, give me a strength and brawl.
Knock. I've got grapplings. Does that add an extra dice?
You're not grappling though, you're being grappled.
Okay.
It's very polite, but it's firm. 4. Okay, I've got to roll against that. Let me find my little dude person for their stats. Where am I going? This is... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I rolled 7 dice and only got 2 successes. You've moved away from them, but the others haven't.
I will try and duck under and dodge using my streetwise abilities.
Given that Tommy has tried to kind of dodge his way out, you're making your way to dodge. The person inside the house who was trying to sort of gently grab you and says, please stop. We're not going to hurt you. We just need to talk. Please come inside.
Yeah, so this is not a... I mean, if it was people who hated us, they would have killed us.
We're not here to hurt you. We need to just talk. We need to have a word. Some stuff's happened.
We're with you. Try grab us without talking to us first.
We were trying to be neat and quiet about this. Please just come inside.
Okay, I'll follow in.
Yeah.
Let me find my note of what this person's name is as well.
I'll ask them who they are and why they pulled us in here.
Actually, let me rearrange my files here a minute. I've got to find a bit of paper. I'm going to hit BRB. This is intentional this time, stream. And I'll rearrange my bits of paper. I'll also try and get my camera being in the right place so you can see it, because that's going to be important in a second. And we'll be right back.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, sorry, my audio decided to stop playing properly on the stream. That's always lovely to see. I've got my character ready. So, this person pulls... where's it gone now? I wrote the name down on one specific bit of paper because it changed, and I was like, cannot use that name. Where are you, guy? I literally just had him open. Okay, I'm going to start doing everything on... there we go. So he's a tall man, he's relatively well dressed, he's got short cropped hair, he's quite built, he's quite bulky. He says, my name is Jeffrey Ashcombe. I'm what's called a shadow. I work for the sheriff, who also works for the prince. So think of me as someone who works for the prince, really. We have to have a word about some of the things that happened yesterday. I understand from things I picked up in my little investigation that I've been doing tonight, and I've had some of my ghouls working on during the day, that you all are relatively new in town, is that correct?
Well, we're not new, but we have been asleep for a number of years, so we are new to the times.
Well, what's happened here is that you have committed what might be some problematic things. So one of the things that happened is yesterday the news article was printed, which I've just shared with you in Roll20. Can you see it? Oh, I have to click show to players. Is it showing to players?
I've got nothing in my little screen.
Roll20, why are you doing this to me? Okay, I will share it to you. I will also try and read it out as I'm sharing it to you if I can see it at the same time. I can't see it at the same time. I'm just going to add you all to it so it'll pop up in your journal. I will get neater at this. This is a Roll20 thing. I should have done this whilst we were on Be Right Back, but I was too busy looking for Jeffrey's character sheet. They don't need it. You need it. Actually, 3, 4, 5. What's that was missing? Save change. Okay, if you go to like the little handouts bit next to below where your character sheets are, you should see a newspaper article there.
That's where I was looking to see whether it was.
Would any of you be willing to read that out, please?
Yeah.
Just the bit you can see.
So. Yes, it's newspaper London X dated yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 Eastern European stud is the headline. Met police appeal for information. The bodies of 2 Eastern European students have been discovered in a disused warehouse in the London Docklands, prompting a police investigation into the circumstances surrounding their deaths. Natasha Kalisnik, 23, a gifted medical student at King's College London, and Anya Delanu, 24, who was studying law at University College London, were found late last night by security staff conducting routine patrols of the abandoned riverside property. Police have not released the cause of death, but described the scene as disturbing, with both victims showing signs of violence. Sources close to the investigation indicate there was little sign of struggle, raising questions about how the women came to be at the location. Detective Inspector Graham Cole, leading the inquiry, said, "We are working to establish the timeline of events that led to Natasha and Anya to this warehouse. We are appealing to anyone who..." And then I can't read half of the rest of the words because they're cough.
That's okay. It's only a part of the article.
That's fine.
Do you know anything about this?
Well, I'm going to guess that they are the 2 young ladies that we fed on when we woke up.
And you just left the bodies there?
Well, we weren't told what to do with them.
And we did leave in kind of a hurry.
Yeah. The building was under attack.
Attack? That's not mentioned in the article.
No, it was a full... there were a lot of police there. They had some machines flying in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, drones?
That's what they're called.
Like little
Possibly.
flying things, kind of 4 legs?
Yeah, those.
Okay, they sent drones after you at a warehouse. What were you doing at the warehouse?
Being awoken.
Oh, that warehouse. Okay, that's the one that's owned by the museum. I understand. Okay, that's answered one question. We had a report that we've managed to quash, but someone rather haphazardly stole some blood from a hospital.
Oh, that might be me.
You know they've got cameras there now.
I know now.
Well, it's been sorted. We have people there who are dealing with this, but we have ways of doing things, and when someone comes around and starts just doing things like that, it can cause the mortals a little bit of panic, and the sheriff's job is to quash that kind of thing. Usually, they would just send a scourge, and you'd probably be meeting your final death right about now, but instead they've sent me because they had the impression that perhaps you needed some help, rather than a speedy haste to the hereafter.
We do appreciate that, and we appreciate you letting us know about the news article and the cameras and whatnot. Unfortunately, we weren't given any information. We had been hurried out of this building into sewers. We had to run through sewers, through excrement. It was disgusting, just to escape from these people. And then we were given phones, money, and told to go. So we had nothing to go on. We had no information. We don't know anything about these new times, this new technology that we've been given. And, we are still trying to find out ourselves and work out how to use it and what we're doing in this new world.
I understand. And luckily, with the things we can do about this, we've dealt with the footage and we've covered up for the missing blood. The 2 Eastern European students will probably be put down to some kind of gang violence. I'm sure we can find a way to spin this. But please be wary in future if you are... I mean, were you even legal to feed there? I guess at the Docklands in that building you probably were. But try and stick to the places where you know it's safe to feed.
Did you say that it was owned by the museum?
Yeah, it was owned by that warehouse. The one that they were found in is owned by the not the British Museum. Which museum is it? The London Museum, I think. They were keeping a bunch of Roman artifacts there. It's like overflow. The stuff that can't fit in the proper museum, they keep it all there.
So why were we there?
And where did you come from?
We don't know.
London.
We were
London.
woken up.
It's possible you were buried, and the museum had found you.
That tracks.
You found us very quickly. Did you know about us before being woke?
It's rather our job, and also, I mean, we can sense when people are around who are kindred, and when there's new people, they tend to make more mistakes. And also, you met with the assistant to the prince earlier, and word gets around that side of things quickly.
Did you know about us before we awoke?
No. I've only been what's the proper word for it? I was only embraced in the 70s. So if you've been asleep since the 40s or something, 70 years you said, we wouldn't have overlapped.
Where do you see this going from here? Are we here under duress, or are we...
You're not under duress, but I wanted to check who you were, where you'd come from. If you were kindred from some other city, then you should have made yourself known to the prince by now. That's the proper way for things before you started feeding in their jurisdiction. If you're not foreign, then if you may have been freshly turned, in which case that's got a whole new set of problems because we have to find someone to do newbie 101 vampire stuff with, explain the traditions, where it's safe to hunt, how to hunt. I assume you know all that sort of thing.
Well, maybe we could be updated on these things because we've been sleeping for 70 years. We're obviously unaware of...
I also have zero memory of any of this from before.
Well, my role as Shadow is less spooky, stay in the background like some kind of La Sombra nonsense, and more like a kind of work shadowing thing. So I would follow you around and try and keep you on the... Well, not the straight and narrow, because, I mean, we're monsters. It would be more sticking to the rules. If you think you'd find that beneficial, I'm available to help you with that.
I think we're aware of some of the rules, but I think some of them we do need an
respectfully,
update.
sir, it seems to me like you've murdered 2 people, stolen some blood from a hospital, and potentially left a homeless man to bleed out behind the back of a pub.
It's been a great night.
Quite. There are things you can do about all of this. You can... Okay. Assuming knowledge of the tradition for the moment, please remember that you can lick a wound closed and then the person will stop bleeding after you've bitten them. Else. There are ways of getting rid of the bodies. There are ways of obtaining blood. If you have specialist tastes in blood, we can put you in touch with the circulatory system. They can obtain anything you might want for a cost, but they can obtain anything you might want.
I prefer my victims to be asleep.
Asleep? See, I'm sure they can sort something out, but you'd have to speak to them about that. But if you're capable... Sorry?
You have these contacts?
We have some contacts, yes. And, I mean, if you don't have the cash or the boons to pay, these people generally prefer boons. If you can find some specialist blood themselves that you can give to them, then they will be more inclined to give you whatever specialist blood you require.
You seem to be quite in the know and very a large network, would you say?
We all learn our way around the town as we go, and people find niches for things to do. If you've got eternity, then it's a nice thing to have a project, yes?
Do you happen to know either a Darius or a Gwynlian Arwin?
Gwynlian. I believe they're at the British Museum. Darius? Nope, do not know Darius.
You say they're at the British Museum. Do you mean they work there or they are in the warehouses around there?
I think they're in there. I don't know how permanent. I mean, people are very secretive about their havens, yes. It's where you're most at risk. But they seem to be around there a lot. And whenever we've had an Elysium there, they've been around. But of course, they are in. We're not really supposed to talk about Gwynlian anymore.
Why?
She did something. There are rumours flying. It's hard to be direct about these things, but it might be that she's getting to be put on the red list.
She's got persuasion.
Oh, you're going to make me dig in the lore now, aren't you?
Oh, yes. If I can. I don't have persuasion.
Not really. I've got 1 in persuasion.
I'm just quickly reading up on Gwynlian. I thought we had a few more weeks until we were getting to Gwynlian.
Okay, I forget I asked that then.
Don't worry. You're allowed to ask anything.
You're asking all the good questions. I've got 3 in persuasion.
3 in persuasion. I wonder if we can persuade this person to tell us a little bit more about them.
I mean, they're essentially like a vampire policeman.
Oh no, not a policeman. More of a community support officer.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be off.
So, you said you haven't heard of Darius. Have you heard of Adelino de Silva?
No, never.
I think the other person's name is Marcus. It's associated with Darius.
Marcus. I know several Marcuses, but I don't know what they'd have to do with any of this. Marcus Kiley is the sheriff of South London.
I'll give a description of the Marcus that we've seen.
The person that you saw was Mickey.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Was it? No, I mean the Marcus that was in the room when we met Darius, was it not?
So you had Adelino de Silva, who was the person who woke you up. You had Darius, who was the guy who gave you the letter. Yeah. And in that room also was Mickey, who we didn't really talk too much, but he was there.
Sorry.
He was kind of there being impatient.
Okay. Sorry. Then
it's okay.
I remembered the name wrong.
It can happen. You've been in Topper for 70 years and your memories are a bit weird. But Gwynlian, yeah, lots of people know about Gwynlian. She's like one of the oldest kindred in London. Well, after Mithras, but he's not really in London anymore.
What can you tell us about the state of London? Is it a good time for us? Is it bad?
There's been rumours swirling around for months that there's an operation coming that's going to try and just take out something. I mean, we've had issues with mortals and hunters attacking before individually. The Anarchs get a lot of that trouble. The Autocracies get some of that as well. Or Torcus. I've been practicing that word and that didn't come out right there. The people that go around by themselves, they get targeted as well. And usually, when they attack as a group, they take out a bunch of Anarchs and the Camarilla get around just fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about, but some people do. Some people have left to stay safe. They've gone to other cities.
Well, how many have left? Is it still most of the population here, or have most gone?
I'm not counting, but people are leaving all the time.
Is Richard the Word still around?
Richard the Word. I've heard rumours he might be, but I wouldn't know where to find him. Okay, there's some things where I'm like, I'm gonna have to roll to know what this person knows about this, because it's quite, some of it's very, very like stuff they wouldn't know, and some of it is stuff they would know. And I need to double check, because there's two people with a similar name, and I've been guilty of confusing them at times. Not to you, but for myself. Richard the Word may be around, but not on the surface of London.
So in terms of us, like, no, carry on.
I was just going to say, for me, this conversation now seems to have run its course.
Yes, I was just about to say, what more can we do? And do you have any advice before we're on our way? Because obviously we're going to have to go and find somewhere to sleep.
Of course.
Or to rest.
Please take greater care when hunting. Please clean up your message as much as possible, and that might include wiping security footage if you've generated security footage. Don't leave corpses lying around anywhere, because lots of people see it. And please be aware of all the cameras. So London, notably, one of the most camera-full cities in the world. There are tens of thousands of cameras across the city. Try not to get on any of them, and don't hunt in the city centre.
Do you have any tool sets which can help with wiping these types of things?
Some kindred have abilities that can get rid of corpses if that's a problem. Careful where you hunt. There are some places where it's safe to hunt.
How about technology-wise?
Technology? No. Don't really go in for technology, because there's nothing but problems.
But you have people that wipe the cameras for you.
Yeah, we have people with abilities with technology, but it's not really my thing, and we don't, advise technological methods in the first place. But if you need to do hacking, if you need to do working with video footage, there are people who can do that.
Do you have any contact numbers for anybody that we could contact if we needed that specialist?
I would advise you to make some friends, to be honest.
Is there an app for that?
We don't use apps anymore, not after ShrekNet.
I'm gonna regret this.
We don't even know what we don't know.
What is ShrekNet?
ShrekNet was an attempt at putting a hidden internet for kindred behind the mortal internet, but it was infiltrated and has since been disbanded.
What's hacking?
Oh, it's where you attempt to obtain information on a computer that you shouldn't have access to.
Okay, I mean, for me, I think this, for me, this has had its course now, and I'm ready to.
Well, please take my details, and he'll offer you a number. Please contact me if you have a problem, rather than leaving it unsolved. I can't always solve every problem for you. I can't always be available, but at least we can try and take steps to ensure that there aren't further problems.
Okay, super. What was your name again? I'll write it down.
I put other things down in the search for Gwenllian. It was Jeffrey something. Help.
Asher.
Thank you.
You said Archer.
No, not Jeffrey Archer. Definitely not. Jeffrey Ashcombe.
Ashcombe.
Jeffrey Ashcombe. Okay, and if we need to get in touch, we can contact you and you will be of help?
If I'm available, then yes. But obviously I have varied responsibilities under the sheriff.
How safe is it to call you? We've been warned that people listen.
You can call me and don't say anything that you wouldn't want, and people who dislike us hearing, I guess. You can request my meeting up with you somewhere. That's the usual way.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'll be on my way now. I need to find myself a nice bed.
I'd just like to ask as well, next time, just ask us to come in the door. No need for the rest of it.
We didn't know how you'd respond. You could have been on the run, you could have been anything. And some people need a bit of force.
Yes, they do, don't they?
Fair.
Well, go well and try not to leave any corpses.
Okay, thank you for this help and advice.
I'm wondering if we've got time to head towards the warehouse and see if it's available to just investigate it now that the raids have finished.
Okay, I'm going to say that there is time in the night, but we're coming nearish the end of the session, although I feel like we should go on for a little bit longer because of the number of technical problems at the top. If everyone's okay with that. Are you okay with going like 5-10 minutes
Yeah,
past?
that's fine.
Fine by me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm looking at a map of London for a second just to be like, where are you right now? Can you get back to the Docklands easily? Because you got back in a taxi. It wasn't far, but you got back in a taxi. You've just come from Canary Wharf. Yeah, you could change where you were walking. You might be able to figure out where it is. It might be
If we head towards the hotel, we can probably find it from the hotel quite easily, can't we?
It'd be easier heading south before you get to the hotel, I think. You might be able to... Actually, there's a massive flipping airport. You could probably figure it out from the planes going in and out where the airport is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. I don't know if anyone else wants to come along, but I've got a feeling there might be more information there.
Yeah. For an investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's
do
go
that,
and find out.
Bear in mind that the police were raiding that, so the police may still be there.
Yes, we'll need to approach carefully.
Oh yeah, and it's
some
just
form
told
of monitoring.
us it's a crime scene on the newspaper.
Yes. So us going there is possibly not a good idea. If they're trying to cover that up and me appear there.
If you want to go and look, you're welcome to go and look. I won't stop. Like, anything you want to do is possible.
I'm going to go tentatively and just to see if it looks like it's still being treated as a crime scene.
Okay.
See if it does look like it might be safe now.
So how far back do you want to look at it? Do you want to walk straight up to it, or do you want to look from a distance, or?
No, I'm going to use my heightened senses.
Any particular sense, or just all of them?
Just sound to start with, just to try and
sound.
Listen around the area.
Okay.
Obviously, it's very difficult with the airport nearby.
Heightened senses is free, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Just double checking. Yeah, free, but okay.
Just going to sit a while peacefully and just wait to see if I can hear any kind of talk around the warehouse, any kind of voices, any signs of life.
How many dots have you got in your specs? It'll be in the bottom half. 2. Okay. What I'd like you to do is roll wits and awareness, and with a modifier of 2.
So we're going to go for and
I'll change my view on roll 20 so I can see what the result is.
I need to do awareness first, don't I?
Yeah, you do. I'm sorry. My brain is just programmed to do it in that way round, but roll 20 is not.
Modifier of +2?
Yes, but I'm not giving you a difficulty. It's just about how much you notice.
Is this everybody rolling? Sorry.
No, this just isn't because he is using heightened senses.
Okay, that's fine.
Dice rolled 5, successes 3.
That's not a bad roll. Okay. Oh, you nearly got a crit. Okay. From some distance away, you can see that there is, because they're lit, there's a figure in what looks like police uniform standing outside the front. There's police line do not cross tape up across the sort of security bit at the front of the building and across the front door round to the edge of the building. And that's about all you can see from there.
Okay, so we can see it still is under review.
Yeah.
It's going to be risky. The only safe entrance we know in would be through the sewers, and I don't fancy going through them again. They were dirty.
No, I'm definitely not passing through them.
And the effort I had to go through to get this suit.
But it might be worth so this was a warehouse where an overflow warehouse for the museum, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So is it likely that any of the other warehouses have got, because if there's overflow stuff, there might be other warehouses around here that have got.
The design of this one was it was white kind of breeze blocks, and it looks older. It looks less cared for than it is. So inside it's perfectly fine, but on the outside it looks kind of a bit run down, not quite as nice as it feels inside. There's like a tree almost growing out of one part of it. There aren't many other warehouses around that are like that. There's like a storage unit that's being used to have loads and loads of pallets. There's like an area that's being used for storage for like old broken heavy plant, like diggers and that kind of thing. But there isn't another similar warehouse to that one nearby.
Fair.
This is challenging. I feel like I need to understand, and every avenue we try to take to understand is met with a roadblock.
What is it you're trying to understand?
The whole situation. Why were we woken? Who were we woken by?
Oh, some of that's in the letter. And then the guy who woke you told you who he was, but...
Well, who is he in the grand scale of things?
He was a member of the
Yes,
cult of Mithras who worked at the museum and was put in charge of making sure you all woke up and got to the right place afterwards.
Yeah.
I would have suspected that the guy before would have known him if that was the case.
They don't all know each other, and he mainly works... So the Jeffrey Ashcombe, he works for the sheriff. He doesn't have anything to do with the museum. He doesn't have anything to do with the cult of Mithras.
Okay. I don't think it's wise to try and go in there if it's under watch. We don't know why it was raided.
Yeah.
We don't know what they were looking for.
Yeah, I think we're better off kind of not pursuing. I mean, we've got lots to do already. I don't think this is an avenue where we're going to get a lot more information at this time, especially whilst there's still obviously an ongoing police investigation.
So what are your other priorities right now?
So we haven't got a gift yet.
Gift, establish a base for us to stay, which I think we need to really do that Elysium to try and find out where our prescribed hunting grounds would be and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
we also need to find a way of getting back in touch with Darius. I want to know why he had an artifact and didn't know about it.
Well, we know that he works at the London Museum, and we know his name is Darius. So we could go there if you really wanted to find out. But I don't think that's a great priority right now.
I think food and somewhere to stay is top two. And a gift.
Yeah.
Gift.
I think we can always ask more questions when we're at the Elysium and see if anyone has any information on what we want to know.
Are you talking as you're walking back, or are you going to stay there watching the warehouse for a bit?
Well, I was walking back, so I'm probably talking to myself if he's still there.
No, I've moved. There's not a lot of point. I'm with you.
Yep, I'm moving away.
Yeah.
I've looked around and realised they've all gone, so I'm running to catch up.
Standard.
Yep.
Okay. This is feeling like a good sort of end point almost if you're going to return to the hotel.
Yeah, I want to return to my cupboard.
Now,
Yeah.
Tony,
Yes.
when last you entered the hotel, you had done an excellent larceny and managed to break the lock in such a way that you were able to lock it again the next day. So rather, whilst you were there and using the building, you had locked the front door, basically.
Yes.
Do you want to try and do that again? I'm assuming you locked it when you left, or did you leave it unlocked?
No, I locked it.
Okay. Are you going to try and unlock it again in such a way that it will be lockable?
Yeah, let's try.
That's going to be... Oh, I feel like I want to double check exactly what I had you roll last time, but that's a lot of rolls to scroll past because we've had a game of Hunter since then. And they also did a lot of rolls. That's...
I've probably got less rolls to roll. Let's go past.
That was Streetwise Intelligence. No, that was you feeding. I know it was larceny and something.
Can you search? Can we search chat?
Oh, not easily on this one, I'm afraid. Okay, let's do... Larceny dexterity, please. Dexterity larceny.
I think that might have been what we did last time as well. And no pool size modifier.
Not for this, I'm afraid.
And
not unless you want to push it. If you want to push it, you can risk getting hungrier again, but it's up to you.
And no difficulty.
It's just against the lock, which is a simple one. It's like a 2, maybe a 3. Let's say a 3. You got 4. You're fine. Do you want to lock it behind you again?
Yes.
Okay, so you enter the hotel. It hasn't been touched, obviously. It's nighttime. It was nighttime when you left. It's still nighttime now. You've locked the door behind you. Are you going to return to the places you were before with Dr. Henry in the basement? Alice was in a cupboard. Tony, I think...
was in a bathroom.
You were in a bathroom.
What day is it, sorry?
Now you're asking me the difficult stuff. It's Tuesday, I think. I'm going by the date on the newspaper.
Yeah.
I'm not going to return to the basement, so I'm going to go find a bathroom in a safer spot upstairs.
Okay, just before that happens, let me quickly check my... Oh, it's not here. I have another page of notes I need to quickly look at. Alice, you climb into the bath, you have like a flashback. You're sitting on a filthy pavement in a cramped street, and all around you, many others are huddling together against the cold, reaching their hands out to passers-by who have nothing to give. The place is dark, the tight buildings are crushing together and they seem to close in on you. You raise your hand to a gentleman walking past in a fine coat and a top hat. "Tell your fortune, mister, just a penny," you say, and then snap back to where you were in the bath. It's like a memory just came back in that moment.
That was a really weird memory. And how did I get in the bath?
Oh, you were going in the cupboard. Forget that. It was the cupboard. Sorry. I got confused
I'm in the
there.
bath.
That was my mistake. 2 other people are in bath. You're in a cupboard.
I'm in the cupboard.
Yeah. In the cupboard is where you had that flashback.
There's a cupboard full of baths.
It's where they keep the baths. No.
Okay.
And I'm just going to quickly check to see if anyone else is getting a little flashback at the same time. Yeah, Tony. You get a quick flash of something. You're sitting at a table. It's small and clean, threadbare cloth covering 100 knocks and scratches that it suffered over many years at the centre of the home. Your mother brings out a bowl of steaming pasta. She puts it before you, pinching your cheek with love, and even though she asks about boys and uses that name again, but the pasta in front of you is warm, and the red sauce dripping over it makes you feel a hunger that you've never known before. But when you snap back, your hunger is just the dull, vampiric hunger that you have grown to recognise. I don't think anyone else is getting a flashback right now.
No, it's like a sense of home.
These are little ones. There are longer ones, and I'm going to I'm going to try them, but when we get to them, if it turns out they're not working, I might ditch them. There's massive ones that we play out, but hey, is everyone happy to rest at that point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
all good here.
Were you going to say something, Tony? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say I also stole an extra bag of blood, but it's probably like
You did steal an extra bag of blood, and I'm guessing if you're using the same room, I guess the bag of blood is still there.
it's horribly congealed.
But you're
because
okay.
I've left it.
You can cope with that. You have
I've got one hunger.
If you
and I have just had a food related memory, so I think I might want to eat the blood.
Okay, two things there. If we were playing this with a different set of pre-gen characters, you would have the advantage Iron Gullet, which means you're okay to have congealed blood. That would be horrible to everyone else in the coterie, but it's fine for you. You can take that. The only thing is, a hunger 1, drinking blood isn't going to do anything much for you. You can only go down to hunger 0 if you've killed someone.
Oh,
that's true. But I don't think it's going to last for much longer.
If you want to have a sippy sip, you have that sippy sip.
I just felt like a sippy sip because I just had a food related memory.
That's a great character moment, but it's not going to help you mechanically at all.
Yeah, no, I know. I just yeah. I just wanted a character moment.
Absolutely fine. So to finish up, did everyone have a good night? Sorry about the technical issues. Hopefully next time there'll be less of those again. Has anyone got anything to plug?
I do not.
No.
Not me.
No.
Dyson, I'm going to put a link to your Twitch in the chat, and I'll also put it under the video. Anyone wants to check out Dyson's stream?
Yay.
I think... Okay, 2 more things. Next game we're playing will be on the 21st. America is going to change time zones this weekend a little bit. They're going to their daylight savings. So if you're watching this in the Americas or in Canada, you will be an hour later than normal. So I know an EST will become EDT and it'll be 4 o'clock rather than 3 o'clock. So just be aware of that. The next games coming up on the channel will be Dragonbane tomorrow, and I think we're planning to play Fallout this Sunday. So we're slightly out of sequence than we would be normally, but we're going to play it this week. And then next week we've got some other the Hunter on Monday. That's going to be important for me. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you very much for hosting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm going to cut to that.